My name is Valda Craig, and I've been volunteering at Ronald McDonald House for 4.5 years now. I got involved because I was looking for a children's charity to help with. It was a children's charity that I really wanted to work with and didn't know in what capacity I could help, and was driving by Ronald McDonald House and drove in and said, I don't know in what capacity you can use me, but I love to bake. And she looked at me and she said, you love to bake? And I said, yes, I do. And she said, can you start this afternoon? And I've been here ever since.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, yes. What does the Ronald McDonald House mean to me? It means a home away from home for all these families and sick children that have to be away from their own homes. I mean, it's just an amazing place.
When Velda's in the kitchen baking cookies, it smells like home and it gives you all those positive memories. But you know, she's engaging with the kids, she's getting them to help her measure the flour and stuff like that. So it just creates the type of home-like atmosphere that we want to create here.
I remember one incident. I was in here baking cookies, and there was a mom who had been at the hospital all night with a sick child, and she had just come over here for something to eat. And I'd taken a tray of chocolate cookies out of the oven, and she stood with a glass of milk and a chocolate chip cookie, and she looked at me and the tears started pouring down her face. She said, you have no idea what this cookie means to me right now. And I'll never forget that, because at that particular point, I knew I was doing the right thing. I was doing something that I was meant to do.
We actually have a volunteer who tracks us on a spreadsheet. And on a given year, our volunteers bake 25,000 cookies for the kids at the house. So it's just an example of how people, you know, you don't have to quit your job, you don't have to have $1 million. You can find a way to help us, and it's a good example of how those little things really add up.
When I can put a smile on someone's face, a family member, or, I mean, so often somebody will walk into the kitchen and say, thank you so much for what you do, or a little one will come in and say, what you baking? Or, you know, those kinds of things. It's just, it's so meaningful. I get out of it probably more than they do, because it gives back to me. I mean, it fills my soul. It truly does.